You guys, I think that Howie Mandel is being held captive. This might sound crazy, but in a recent TikTok video, Howie Mandel took out a random paper bag and labeled it shoe stuff, essentially making a DIY project. But this video is full of secret messages. Just in case he is actually being held captive, please signal boost his video, comment, follow, do whatever you can. You can see in this video that he's wearing a lifeguard hoodie, and on that hoodie, it gives away where he lives, Santa Monica. But also in this video, he points to the letters SOS in a triangle. Just look at this clip.
And can you see it? It says shoe stuff, shoe stuff.
If you didn't know, the letters SOS is to signal that you are in extreme danger. Just in case you missed it, let me replay it for you.
And can you see it? It says shoe stuff, shoe stuff.
If you really took a closer look at this video, you can also notice that the S's look like 5s. Look, 2 5s. And 2 5s make 55. And if you dial the number 55, it takes you directly to the police. It shows that you're being held captive or that there's an intruder in your house and that you cannot talk. In part 2, he spells out the letter help.
There's something terrifying going on at Chuck E. Cheese right now, and I'm gonna explain it to you. So we all know about the game Five Nights at Freddy's, right? It's a game based around a restaurant that's pretty much like a Chuck E. Cheese where the animatronics come to life and wreak havoc on all the guests there. But what if I told you this was possibly happening in real life right now? Just 2 days ago, 5 children have gone missing inside of a Chuck E. Cheese, and the parents reported a weird smell from the inside of the building. And then just like Five Nights at Freddy's, someone that worked the late night shift actually got killed after hours. Now these are all pretty weird, but here's the kicker right here. Check out this headline. Night shift workers from Chuck E. Cheese claim strange movement from animatronics post hours. So I don't know, what do you think about this? Do you think it's real? Do you think it's fake? And I mean, with 2020 and everything going on, like, I wouldn't be shocked if it was real.
What if I told you the world did end in 2012? Do not watch if you're easily paranoid. So back in 2012, if you remember, the world was supposed to end. Now obviously, it didn't end. But what if I told you it did? And we're living in a parallel universe. In 2012, scientists at CERN found the particle known as the Higgs boson. This is famously known as the God particle. Now this particle was the one that Stephen Hawking said would destroy the whole universe if found. And well, they found it, experimented with it, and then created a black hole leading us to a different timeline. I think since 2012, me and you can agree the world has been a pretty odd place. For example, all the Mandela effects that have been happening. Like Curious George not having a tail, yet he's a monkey. But that's not the only proof. Another famous scientist, known as Terence McKenna, said the world wouldn't end in 2012, but a mass change of reality would take place.
So I'm going to teach you guys how to see if someone's listening in on all your conversations on your phone. And I know some of you guys know one of the codes, but there's actually many more. So the first one that you're going to type in is pound hashtag 21 hashtag, and then you're going to call the number. And now this should come up and it will show you that none of your calls are being forwarded. But if this doesn't come up, that means your calls are being forwarded somewhere else. Now if you type in star hashtag 61 hashtag and call it, it'll tell you where your calls are being forwarded to. But since I'm being tracked, that's why it says disabled. And now if you type in this final code, it'll apparently switch off all forms of redirection away from your phone. You're welcome.
Okay, so I am about to blow your minds. So everyone knows what birthmarks are, right? Like those little spots on us that, like, I don't know, are just like a skin discoloration or something. So people have been saying for years that the birthmark is how you actually died in your previous life. So that got me thinking, what's the most famous birthmark out there? And that's on Playboy Cardi. So if you don't know how Playboy Cardi looks, this is him. And he has an iconic birthmark on his left cheek. And his birthmark is actually pretty cool because of the day he was born. He was born on September 13th, 1996. And real rap fans know that that date is the day that this man died. The man who died was no other than Tupac Shakur. Tupac died when he got shot in the left part of his face.
I saw these when I was driving, and when I tell you the sound my car made because I hit the brakes so fast, it felt like I was in a fucking fever dream. Then 5 minutes later, not even, I find this house. And I'm like, what the fuck time vortex or alternate dimension did I go into? Because A, none of this was on my way to my destination. B, I've lived in this area my whole life, and I've never seen this. And this house was in the middle of nowhere. Then this weird-ass bird showed up, and I was like, oh, that's weird, but we'll get to that later, because that'll come back. And here's more of the house, and there's nothing around it. And then there's the mailbox. Okay, that's cool. 85, I don't know if that'll mean anything. Then there was a little shed. Okay, now look. Are those birds? Not like real birds, but are those like fake birds?